Ever imagine yourself at the helm of a gigantic ship? Like a container ship stacked high with cargo, or a tanker carrying fuel, or even a luxurious cruise ship. All those vacationers, the sun on your face, the wind in your hair, except you're not the captain. You're something even more vital to the ship's journey.
Ah, you're talking about marine pilots, the unsung heroes of the maritime world.
Marine pilots.
Yeah, they're the highly skilled navigators, the ones who ensure the safe passage of those massive vessels, through some of the most challenging waters around the world.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Paint me a picture. Let's say we're in the port of London. What's it like for these marine pilots? Guiding a ship through the Thames with all its twists and turns, historic bridges, iconic landmarks. Wow.
It's thrilling, a real blend of expertise and precision. Imagine guiding a behemoth of a ship along the Thames. You're navigating the constantly changing tides. You pass right under Tower Bridge. You're maneuvering through a river bustling with traffic.
Sounds intense.
It is. You need in-depth local knowledge, years of experience, and the ability to stay calm, make critical decisions under pressure. This isn't just a job, it's a vital service. Keeps global trade and tourism flowing.
That sounds incredible. But honestly, a bit intimidating. How does one even become a marine pilot?
Well, the Port of London Authority, the PLA, they're actually looking for talented individuals right now to join their ranks as trainee pilots.
Really?
Yeah. It's a fantastic opportunity to work with some of the biggest ships in the world, gain invaluable experience, and become a part of this crucial industry.
Work with those mega ships. Sign me up. But seriously, what does it take to even be considered?
Naturally, there are some specific qualifications. First and foremost, a Master's Unlimited Certificate of Competency.
A Master's Unlimited Certificate of Competency.
Yeah? Think of it as, like, the maritime equivalent of a driver's license, but for ships of any size, anywhere in the world.
Oh, okay, I see.
Then, of course, you need a clean bill of health, verified by an ENG1 medical certificate, and excellent communication skills, particularly when using VHF radio.
Makes sense. You're coordinating with the ship's crew, the port, other vessels. Communication is key.
Precisely. Now, while not strictly required, experience on tugboats would give you an edge. Familiarity with different types of commercial vessels, knowledge of the Port Marine Safety Code. But even without those, the PLA has a comprehensive training program designed to bring you up to speed, equip you with the necessary skills.
So they take someone with the basic qualifications and mold them into a top-notch marine pilot. What does that journey look like? What's the career path?
It's structured, designed to gradually increase your responsibilities as your expertise grows. You start as a trainee pilot, then move through 4 pilot classes, ultimately aiming for the pinnacle Class A unrestricted.
Class A unrestricted.
Yep. Each step comes with increased responsibilities and challenges. Piloting larger ships, handling more complex situations.
So you're not just stuck in one role forever. There's room to grow and develop within the profession. What about the financial side of things? I'm guessing guiding these massive vessels through intricate waterways comes with decent compensation.
Absolutely. For a trainee pilot with the PLA, the starting salary is $68,819 for the 7-month training period.
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning. As you progress through the pilot classes, your salary increases, reflects your expertise and the level of responsibility. Now, it's important to note every port has its own set of requirements, vacancies, and pay structures. So while the PLA is a good example, research the specific port you're interested in.
So essentially, there's a clear path for advancement and the potential for a rewarding career. But I can't imagine it's easy to get selected for this kind of role. What's the selection process like for aspiring marine pilots?
It's rigorous. The PLA's selection process involves a detailed application, a face-to-face interview to assess your personality and suitability, a test on their state-of-the-art ship simulator to evaluate your practical skills, and of course, thorough medical checks and references.
So they're looking for the best of the best, those who have the skills, the temperament, and the dedication to handle this high-pressure job. Let's dive into the application process. What advice would you give to someone who wants to stand out from the crowd?
Well, the PLA emphasizes the importance of providing thorough and well-thought-out responses to all the application questions. They're not just looking for someone who ticks all the boxes. They want someone who demonstrates a genuine understanding of the complexities and responsibilities involved in being a marine pilot.
So you need to show passion and a genuine grasp of what the job entails. Now, let's say you make it through the application process, complete your training, and officially become a marine pilot. What does a typical day on the job look like?
Well, every day brings its own unique set of challenges and rewards, but there are some core responsibilities that remain constant.
I'm all ears. Walk me through a typical day for a marine pilot.
Okay, let's imagine you're starting your day. You're briefed on the vessels you'll be piloting, their cargo, their destination. You need to be aware of the tide and weather conditions, any potential hazards, and the traffic situation in the port and river.
This is already sounding pretty complex. I can see why experience and local knowledge are so critical.
Absolutely. Once you're prepared, you'll typically board the vessel via a pilot boat, often in open waters.
Oh, wow.
Then you climb a sometimes precarious ladder up the side of the ship, often in rough sea conditions, to meet the captain and crew.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that. Talk about making an entrance.
Right. You're not just steering the ship, you're essentially orchestrating a symphony of movements, ensuring everyone is playing their part in perfect harmony to guide these enormous vessels safely. And each ship handles differently, so you need to constantly adapt your approach.
All right, so we've got our marine pilot on board. What happens next?
Well, now the real work begins. The pilot takes control of the navigation, advising the captain on the best course of action, considering tides, currents, wind, visibility, and the proximity of other vessels. It's a constant dance between experience, skill, and communication. And remember, the Thames, especially around the Port of London, it's a particularly challenging waterway. You're dealing with strong currents, varying depths, narrow channels, and let's not forget those iconic bridges require incredibly precise maneuvers.
It's starting to feel like a high-stakes puzzle, requiring both strategy and skill. I imagine there are moments when it gets really intense.
Absolutely. Think about navigating a massive container ship under Tower Bridge with like mere inches to spare on either side. It's a combination of experience, nerves of steel, and the ability to stay focused under pressure.
So you're not just steering a ship, you're a master of precision, a strategist, a communicator, and a bit of daredevil all rolled into one.
That's a pretty accurate description. You're responsible for the safety of the vessel, its crew, its cargo, and the surrounding environment. It's a job that demands respect, comes with immense satisfaction.
Before we get too carried away with the excitement, let's circle back to the training. We talked about the basic qualifications. But what does the actual training process look like? You mentioned simulators. What are those like?
The PLA's training program is designed to be as realistic as possible. They have a state-of-the-art simulator, replicates the experience of piloting a ship in various conditions. You'll face simulated storms, mechanical failures, even traffic congestion, all within the virtual environment of the Thames.
So it's like a video game on steroids, but with real-world consequences.
Exactly. This simulator training helps you build confidence, hone your skills in a safe environment before you're out there, in the real world, dealing with multi-million-dollar vessels and the bustling activity of the port.
Makes sense. It's all about preparation and mitigating risk. But beyond the technical skills, what other qualities does a successful marine pilot need?
Well, communication is absolutely crucial. You need to be able to communicate clearly and effectively with the ship's captain and crew, the tugboat operators, the port authorities, anyone else involved in the operation.
You're essentially the conductor of a complex maritime orchestra, ensuring everyone is in sync.
That's a great way to put it. You also need to be a good decision maker, able to assess situations quickly, make the right call even under pressure. And let's not forget adaptability. You're dealing with different ships, different crews, different weather conditions, ever-changing situations. You need to be able to think on your feet, adjust your approach accordingly.
So it's a career that keeps you constantly engaged,
Yeah.
both mentally and physically. I'd imagine it's also incredibly rewarding.
It absolutely is. There's a sense of accomplishment that comes with guiding a massive vessel safely through challenging waters. You're playing a vital role in global trade, and you're constantly learning, facing new challenges.
Sounds like the kind of job that would appeal to someone who thrives on challenge and responsibility. But let's get real for a moment. Are there any downsides to this profession?
Well, like any demanding job, there are challenges. The work can be physically demanding, requiring you to climb ladders, work on deck in all types of weather, be on your feet for long hours.
I can imagine that the hours are probably not your typical 9 to 5 either.
You're right. The job often involves working irregular hours, weekends, holidays. You need to be flexible, adaptable to the demands of the shipping schedule.
So it's not a job for someone who craves a predictable routine, but for those who thrive on variety and adrenaline, it seems like an incredible opportunity.
Exactly. And think about the unique perspective you gain. You get to see the world from a different angle, work with people from diverse backgrounds, and contribute to a global industry that impacts our daily lives.
It's a reminder that even though we might not see them, marine pilots are playing a crucial role behind the scenes. keeping the wheels of commerce turning.
And as the volume of global trade continues to grow, the demand for skilled marine pilots will only increase. So, this is a career with a promising future.
So for those listening who might be interested in pursuing this path, where should they start?
As I mentioned earlier, each port has its own requirements and application process. A great place to start is with the International Maritime Organization or the International Maritime Pilots Association. Their websites have a wealth of information, can point you in the right direction.
We'll also be sure to include those links in our show notes for easy access. But before we move on, I'm curious, what are some of the misconceptions people might have about this profession?
One common misconception is that it's just about steering a ship. People don't realize the level of expertise and decision-making involved.
It's more than just turning a wheel. It's about understanding the intricacies of the ship, the waterways, and the ever-changing conditions.
Exactly. Another misconception is that it's a solitary job. While there are moments of solitude, especially when you're on the bridge navigating, you're constantly communicating and collaborating with others.
So teamwork is key, even when you're the one calling the shots.
Precisely. It's about building trust and rapport with the ship's captain and crew, working together to ensure a safe and efficient passage.
This is making me realize that being a marine pilot is a highly skilled profession. That often goes unnoticed. It's a balance of technical expertise, communication, decision-making, and a deep understanding of the maritime environment.
And let's not forget the adaptability and resilience required to handle the unpredictable nature of the job. You need to be able to think on your feet, remain calm under pressure, and adjust your approach as needed.
So it's a career that demands a lot, but it also offers a unique blend of challenges and rewards.
Yeah.
What about the impact of technology? We hear so much about automation these days. Is there concern that technology might eventually replace the need for marine pilots?
It's a valid question. While there have been advancements in autonomous ship technology, the role of the marine pilot is still considered essential, particularly in complex and congested waterways like the Thames.
So technology is enhancing their capabilities, but not replacing them altogether.
Precisely. Think of it this way. Technology provides tools and information, but it's the human pilot who interprets that information, makes critical decisions, adapts to unexpected situations.
So the human element remains crucial, even as technology evolves. It's that ability to think critically, to anticipate, to react. That sets human pilots apart. But speaking of technology, I'm curious about what kinds of technological advancements are shaping the world of marine pilotage.
There are quite a few exciting developments. For instance, we're seeing advanced navigation systems that provide real-time data on tides, currents, weather, and traffic, making route planning more precise and efficient.
So technology is empowering pilots to make more informed decisions and navigate more safely.
Absolutely. We're also seeing sophisticated communication tools allow for seamless interaction between the pilot, the ship's crew, and the port authorities, ensuring everyone is on the same page. And then there are innovations in areas like dynamic positioning systems, which use sensors and thrusters to hold a vessel in a precise location, even in challenging conditions.
It sounds like technology is constantly evolving to improve safety, efficiency, and precision in the maritime world.
That's right. And as technology continues to advance, we can expect to see even more innovative tools and systems that will support marine pilots in their crucial role.
This has been an incredibly insightful look into the world of marine pilots. We've covered a lot of ground, from the required skills and training to the challenges and rewards and the impact of technology. But before we wrap up, I want to bring it back to our listener and leave them with a question to ponder. We've been talking about the complexities of this profession, the intense training, the demanding environment, the constant need for adaptability, the weighty responsibility. Knowing all of this, would you say, that you have the skills and the temperament to guide a massive ship through a bustling harbor, maybe even navigate it under a landmark as iconic as Tower Bridge?
That's the question, isn't it? Do you have the focus, the dedication, and the passion to master this unique skill set? If this deep dive has sparked even a flicker of interest, I encourage you to explore the world of marine pilotage further.
Where would someone even begin to explore this career path? We've talked about the Port of London Authority as an example, but this is obviously a global profession.
Absolutely. Every port around the world has its own unique requirements and opportunities. It's a good idea to start by researching the ports in your region or the ones that particularly pique your interest. As I mentioned earlier, the International Maritime Organization and the International Maritime Pilots Association are excellent resources. Their websites have a wealth of information about training requirements, career paths, and the industry as a whole.
And of course, we'll make sure to include those links in our show notes for easy access. But beyond those resources, what advice would you give to someone who's seriously considering this as a career path?
I'd say reach out to marine pilots in your area. Talk to them about their experiences, their challenges, their rewards. Shadowing a pilot, even for a day, can give you invaluable insights into the realities of the profession. And don't be afraid to ask questions. The maritime community is generally very welcoming and willing to share their knowledge.
So it's about networking, gathering information, getting a first-hand look at what the job entails. It sounds like a career that requires a lot of initiative and a genuine passion for the maritime world.
That's right. It's not a career you simply stumble into. It's a deliberate choice, a calling for those who are drawn to the sea, who thrive on challenge, and who are eager to make a tangible contribution to global trade and transportation.
I think we've all gained a deeper appreciation for the vital role that marine pilots play in our interconnected world. They're the unseen hands guiding the ships that carry the goods we rely on, the fuel that powers our industries, and the people who connect us across continents. It's a profession that combines technical expertise, strategic thinking, and a deep understanding of the marine environment.
And it's a profession that offers a unique blend of challenges and rewards. You're constantly learning, adapting, and pushing your limits, but you're also experiencing the thrill of guiding these massive vessels through intricate waterways, witnessing stunning sunrises and sunsets from the bridge, and contributing to a global industry that impacts our lives every day.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with this final thought. If you're looking for a career that's both demanding and rewarding, a career that offers adventure, purpose, and a unique perspective on the world, then perhaps the life of a marine pilot is calling you.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one guiding a giant ship under Tower Bridge, a master of the tides, a guardian of the waterways, a marine pilot navigating the future of global trade.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of marine pilots. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.